I'm going to go on a small rant here. I personally am not using PSA for the next year. Whatever happened a few months ago, they changed the guard, and whoever's there does not fully understand vintage autographs, and they are failing things. Before this happened, you could do two things. You could fail it and say, that's bad, I'm going to make you pay for it, it was so bad. Or you could say N9, which is questionable but not sure, and they wouldn't charge you. Now they're just failing and charging.
Today we've got a PSA, meaning public service announcement, about PSA. Dad jokes on fleek this Sunday. We're also going to talk about how the guarantee can affect patch cards, so you need to stick around. I'll throw in my final thoughts at the end, so stay till the end. What's going on, sports card hobby family? Back again. It's another day, and you know what that means. It's another sports card video. Hopefully everyone having an amazing weekend. It is hot as Venus. I learned that Mars is not as hot as I thought. It's actually Venus. So it's hot as Venus here in North Carolina. Hopefully everyone's staying cool in the AC. All right, before we dive into today's topic, we've got to thank today's video sponsor, DC Sports 87. You want to sell cards on eBay, but you don't want to bother with the listing and the shipping and the pack, all the stuff that comes with selling individual cards on eBay. It's a lot of time and effort that goes into this stuff. You can shoot it off like I do. A lot of my stuff goes to DC Sports 87. They run it at auction. I get paid. Very, very easy. Also, stop playing around. 10% off SlabMags.com with the Sports Card Dad code. Protect the surface, and look at how this thing displays. Look at how the display is. How many different ways can I say that? 10% off your SlabMags order when you use Sports Card Dad promo code. And for those that want to see cards, a quick mail day. Found this sitting lonely on ComC.com, a 2002 SP Authentic Breeze. It's the gold version. It's numbered out of 50. It was just hanging out there on ComC, all lonely, nobody paying attention, and was able to make a deal with the seller there. And following the star trend, we have got the 84-85 Court Kings Magic Johnson. It's the oversized 5x7 star card. I'll have a video coming up next week all about Star for those that are interested in learning a little bit more. All right, Sports Card Madness podcast and YouTube channel. That's Nick and Larry. I played their clip, their reel, Nick's reel at the beginning of the episode. But the reason why I reference them is they had a recent episode on their YouTube channel that was talking about their experience authenticating autographs through PSA. Now, I believe both of them are Boston Celtics season ticket holders, but also, if I have this right, Nick is putting together an 86 Fleer autographed set. So he's got kind of different things that he's doing. And then Larry also is getting Celtics players signed. He's also doing kind of the PSA DNA autograph type stuff. Recently, over the last 6 months or so, they've had challenges with autographs that they have been in front of the people. They are getting them signed in person, then sending them off, and they're getting rejected for this reason or another reason. Anyway, it's a great episode, so definitely check out that Sports Card Madness YouTube channel and that episode in particular if you're interested in hearing more about this. If we take a look at the PSA guarantee that's on their website, it states the guarantee does not apply to the authenticity or grade assigned to any autograph, whether certified by manufacturer or applied after its release. So that's counting the in-person autographs as well as pack-pulled autographs there. The guarantee does not apply to the authenticity. I can't say authenticity today. My bad, guys. The guarantee does not apply to the authenticity or grade assigned to cards with memorabilia pieces, including but not limited to jersey swatches, logo patches, game used, bat relics, etc. I think that's important to note because how many people spend pretty big money on graded game-used patch cards? I can think in particular Kobe Bryant. I've seen, on Instagram where it's not an autograph card and it's not a regular Kobe Bryant card, but it's got a nice game-used patch that is on the card. And it comes from the manufacturer, so you could say, okay, the manufacturer has guaranteed, maybe it's Panini or maybe it's Topps or whichever company it is, they are essentially kind of guaranteeing that is real. But I think it's important to note, because I actually didn't know that. I didn't know that the patch cards, the grade and the authenticity, not necessarily guaranteed by the PSA guarantee. Another one right down here, if we look, the guarantee does not apply to the authenticity or grade assigned to sketch cards. I know there's sports card sketch cards, but I immediately thought of, Marvel card collectors and, non-sports type stuff, Stranger Things cards or sketch cards there. Again, I'm not necessarily worried about, the grade assigned to a sketch card. I don't collect those, but I highly doubt that, sketch card collectors for the most part are really that worried about the overall grade, because most of the time they are one of ones, kind of artist sketch card type deals. If I scroll down a little bit more, again, this is kind of an ancillary part. This is an adjacent card collecting category. The guarantee does not apply to the authenticity or grade assigned to any ticket. Darren Ravel, did you hear that? Ticket. Nor is PSA responsible for any type of fading that may occur once a ticket is encapsulated in a PSA holder. So a lot of what this is PSA protecting themselves against weird sports memorabilia stuff. If we go back in time, I've told the story many, many times. If I go back to the 80s, 90s, when I was going to card shows, going into shopping malls, I can remember there would be just stacks of 8x10s that were autographed, tons of these. And the FBI had a few different investigations going. Mickey Mantle autographs, all sorts of different celebrity autographs. This was a huge problem going back to the 80s, 90s. And so what was born out of that is authentication for autographs. And let's just state this here. I've said this again on the channel before. I believe, and I don't think this is a very controversial statement, that autograph authentication is the most complex part of the sports card hobby. It's not repacks and breaks and all the other gambling products or whatever. The most complex part of the sports card hobby is autograph authentication. There are amazing forgers out there, and they are trying to get their stuff into slabs, whether that be BGS or PSA, really kind of the main two companies that are grading and authenticating autographs. I know that JSA joined up with CGC, so we'll see kind of more on their side as well, but it's extremely difficult, especially when there's no witness. When there's no witness. If PSA is witnessing it, or CGC is witnessing it, or whatever Beckett witnessed, then that's one thing. But man, when it's just, somebody is sending an autograph into a company and then hoping that they get the go-ahead that it's authentic, I mean, these guys, these graders are looking at a database of thousands and thousands of copies of these autographs. And, the truth is that autographs change over time. We see that with athletes all the time, or celebrities, where 10 years ago, their autograph looked very different than what it is today. So what do you do then? Then it's just somebody's opinion on whether or not that was actually signed. And what kind of stinks too is it's not as if technology can really fix this problem. There will always be risk attached to this, because it's not as if a computer is looking at an autograph and saying like, okay, I'm matching that up against all these other autographs. Because the autographs change over time in a lot of instances, or even if someone's in a hurry, Tornado Tom Brady autographs, it's like, oh, he was in a hurry when he did this one. I mean, my autograph is not exactly the same every time. It's pretty close, but there might be little instances where I got distracted or whatever. I mean, just think about how complex this is. And so I'm not making excuses for the grading companies, but at the same time, even though we are dependent on these third-party authenticators, we really just need somebody. We need another opinion. As a buyer of these things, it is a buyer beware type situation, as it is with a lot of things in this hobby. I got a message on IG from a Michael Jordan card collector, and he had a 96 Jordan SPX graded a PSA 8 with a 9 auto grade. It ended up being a fake card, fake auto. And I'll be honest with you, I looked at the autograph. Sometimes, man, there's so many bad Drew Brees autographs that are on the internet. But that Michael Jordan autograph, it didn't look that off to me. If you compare it to other Jordan autographs, yeah, okay, I could see where you could kind of nitpick certain parts. But again, if somebody's in a hurry, if someone gets distracted, his hand slipped, whatever. It could be any reason that it's not exactly the way that it should look. So the way I understand it is the person that sent me the information, he had sent this to other Jordan card collectors, hey, can you take a look at this? Something, just doesn't seem right. And it turned out that there was some flaws, like the lot number was not on the back of the Jordan card. And so once you figure out that the card is fake, immediately you're looking at the autograph as to, okay, what's up with this? And PSA did deactivate that card. So it is one that slipped through the cracks. And again, obviously it's not going to be a perfect science, but it's just so tough. Autograph authentication is never going to be a perfect science. It's never going to be something that we all feel extremely confident in, no matter which company is authenticating or grading autographs. It'll just never be that way. And so let me know in the comment section down below, have you been using companies to authenticate autographs? Are you having good experiences? Is there stuff that you would like to see improved on? Again, I don't know if there's going to be massive improvements in this space because, again, technology can't fix this. Technology can't go back in time. Unless you have some sort of a time machine that can go and see through, did this guy actually sign this thing? You have so many ghostwriters, you have the auto pens. You have so many different ways this thing can get screwed up. So anyway, guys, I think that that's just kind of what it is. We have to be careful out there. And also, when you're spending your money, you have to just say, like, you know what? Even though this might be sitting in a slab, it could have an issue down the road, and there may not be recourse on the back end if there is a problem with it. And so it's just knowing that going in. All right, my friends, stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.